What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my latest adventure where I go to discover all that Kawasaki has to offer at a dealership near me. Today I'm exploring the exciting world of Kawasaki motorcycles and I can't wait to bring you along for the ride. As soon as I stepped into the dealership, my eyes were drawn by two impressive models, the Ninja 1000SX and the Versys 1000 LT, both of which were on the showroom floor. But then something caught my eye, an H2SX. You might be wondering what's so special about this model. But I'll tell you later on in the video, so stick around to find out. But back to the reason why we're here. First, I was here to see a Ninja 1000SX in this spicy green. Weighing in at 514 pounds, the 1000SX is an edgy looking bike. While at the dealership, I knew very little about what the 1000SX had to offer besides 1000cc's. To my surprise, the 1000SX packs an impressive electronics package, an advanced IMU, and up and down quick shifter. This also includes cornering sensitive ABS and several ride modes for various terrain conditions. The one here on the floor was a used 2022 model with 6,000 kilometers on it. The dealership was asking $14,800 for it before taxes. Sitting on the bike felt comfortable though. I could get my feet closer to the ground than on the Tracer 9, and the seating position felt more upright than the FZ6. Still slightly more bent over than the Tracer 9 though. The downside to this bike is it doesn't have side and top cases. The 1000SX did have the option of adding side cases from the factory new, but the previous owner didn't add that. So although I could purchase them for about $1,500 just for side cases, that would bump the already $14,800 price tag up to around just a smidge over $18,000 with all the taxes and fees included. So that's getting pretty close to Tracer 9 GT money, new bike money. The Versys LT on the other side of the showroom was another great bike to compare it to. Although the Versys 1000 is a 2022 and therefore asking a price outside my budget at $23,000, it does solve all the problems that I'm having. If the 1000SX is closer to the FZ6 in design and riding position, then the Versys is closer in design to a BMW R1200 GS with its tall gas tank and nearly straight up riding position. With that said, when I swung a leg over the Versys, I really felt how upright and heavy the bike was. I love the advanced electronics package, the heated grips and quick shifter, paired with the 1000cc 4-cylinder. Don't get me wrong, it's a marvelous machine. I'm just not in love with the styling aesthetically. A new Versys is out of my price range and the used market is a little bit vacant. Here we have a brand new Versys, very similar to the one I was looking at in the dealership, the matte red, LT, SE. It's a nice bike, pretty slick. $22,000 at this dealership though. Then getting cheaper, we have this $13,300 one, the 2019 Versys. Nice bike. I kind of like this one. I kind of like the gray on black. It's a good look. And the styling's good in this year. It looks good. It's okay. Maybe it's just the gray on black that I'm more fond of. And then getting cheaper, we have this one in the States. It's about 11,000 Canadian after the conversion. 23,000 miles, so it's about 32,000 kilometers. Dash is just getting worse as these things get older with those crusty aftermarket lights I don't love, and it's been dropped, so it's cracked. And then lastly, this is $9,500, but that's because it's a Versys 650. It's a 2-cylinder, not a 4-cylinder. Nice bike, nice styling, pretty new, 2021, really great bike. I'd have to go to Kelowna to see it, but maybe it's because the Kawasaki design language isn't aligned with the Yamaha design language that I know and love, but something about it just isn't the right fit for me. But maybe my opinion could be swayed if I had the opportunity to ride one on the street. That's when I stepped around the corner of the dealership and I caught my eye on this H2SX. If I had the cash, man, this thing would be insane. Did you know these things come supercharged and with radar cruise control? I've never had a car with active cruise control and they put this stuff on bikes now? Wow, I was just blown away by everything. It's even supercharged with a quick shifter, which would be wicked great for a touring man, but at $33,000, it's far too many dollars for me at this point. So few bikes use force induction, it's incredible to see Kawasaki making a production motorcycle that uses this tech. But going back to the Ninja 1000SX, obviously I'd like to find one cheaper on the used market, so I went digging online through Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, and this is what I found. First we have this one here, it's a 2023, so it's 1 year newer than the one I saw in the showroom and asking more because of it, so it's almost $16,000 before taxes, fees, and things. Great bike. And then here we have a 2019, 11,900. Good miles. It's only just under 10,000 kilometers. It's got the side cases. You know, this is within my budget for the most part. And it would be a good bike. It's barely ridden, barely used. Then lastly, we got this one, a 2017 getting older. Another 1000SX for $9,000. More miles, you know, it's got 38,000 kilometers, but new tires, chain and sprocket, and oil, engine oil and filter were just done. No accidents, single owner, all good signs. And it's got side cases, so you wouldn't have to add that. And as you get older, the dashes look kind of worse and worse, but it's the way it goes with most models. This is probably the best priced one that I've seen of the options that are available. At the end of the day, I gotta say, I don't love the Kawasaki styling, and the reviews I've read don't lead me to believe that their engine is anything to write home about when you compare it to, say, a V4 or a cross-plane R1 engine, or the character of a triple. If I want a large traditional four-cylinder, I'd be more seriously considering an FC1. So those are my takeaway points from my visit to the Kawasaki dealership. Let me know in a comment down below if you think there's any key points I missed about the experience of owning and riding a Kawasaki. As always, thanks for watching and have a good day.